to welcome you to St Catherine's College as Master. The college is just over 50 years old, and as such it's the newest mixed college. That's a college with both undergraduates and postgraduates. It's the newest mixed college in Oxford.
Very much like to thank Professor Ainsworth, the Master of St Catherine's College, and Vice Chancellor of the University of Oxford for enabling us to host our event at this wonderful college and for kindly welcoming us all. I would also like to thank all of you very much for taking time to attend this program despite your busy work schedules. We at OAED are very grateful for your commitment and your support for such an important shared topic of interest, leadership in higher education.
The Higher Education Academy is the national agency within the UK for supporting excellence in learning and teaching. And we've been in existence for just over 10 years. And the reason we were formed was because the government at the time felt that there wasn't enough emphasis on teaching quality within the university sector. As in most countries overseas, there was no official qualification for university teachers. To be a primary or a secondary school teacher, you have to undertake many years of study, pass exams. But for university teachers, the only requirement in most cases was to have a PhD in the subject which you wanted to teach.
The University of Oxford operated the same way. You will note that before I went to work, I was chairman of the General Board of Faculties of the University of Oxford. That was a full-time secondment into the administration, and I was in effect the deputy to the Vice Chancellor. The Vice Chancellor was the front man, but I was responsible for all of the academic activities within the university.
Well, for me, I'll tell you what's not interactive. That's standing in front of us, and I've done it, standing in front of a lecture theatre of 300 students, where you can't actually even tell what colour the jumper is of the student in the back row. That's not interactive. But actually working at a distance with students who are collaborating together in small groups, that can be highly interactive, but a lot depends on how you do it.
It probably comes as no surprise to you to know that Apple have 60% of this market share, and that we expect tablets to outsell PCs by 2015. Online learning platforms and approaches are also changing. You'll, I'm sure, be familiar with the term MOOC, and you may be familiar with other terms such as adaptive learning. There has been a huge change in the last 12 months. So many of the platforms that were mentioned earlier, edX, Udacity, that sort of thing.
As an LED, the advantage is that it uses a very small amount of electricity, about 25% of what a projector would use. And the other advantage of an LED touchscreen is that it lasts for a long time. A standard LED lasts for about 50,000 hours. So the thing with LED is it's about the image, the sharpness of the image, and also something called HD, high definition. It means that when you're running something, you can just have one cable plugged into a computer instead of lots of cables. And it also means that you can run sound and video and lots of things through there. So this is just an HD video I just took from the internet just to show how an LED screen differs.
That it is far better and far more cost effective if you can actually grow your own. Take somebody who has enthusiasm, take somebody who has some of the skills that you need and invest in them. Increase their skill base so that actually they will feel more valued to start with, and you will retain them. And that retention will ultimately lead to far more support within the business and far more a better relationship with any students that you have. because of course they see consistency, they see continuity, and that builds trust in the student populace as well.
So one big word, globalisation. 3 M words. The M words are marketisation, higher education entering into markets, competing for students, competing for research money, competing to undertake consultancy for companies, whatever else, but a businessification, if you like. Marketisation is one word, M word. The other one is massification. Many university systems growing larger and larger, political ambition to have 30%, 40%, 50% of young people going to university, compared with, in the Martin Crowe classification, an expanded elite system, which is prevalent in my day, when it was 15% of young British people went to university in the 1970s. Now, 2013, it's something like 45%. The system has grown 3 times. That is massification, but it's grown without any increase in the unit of funding. So effectively, you grow the system, but you halve the spending per student per year in teaching terms. So marketisation, massification, and managerialism.
Series of debates about open plan in university, quite a bit of fury in my own university. So that's your target outcome. And if I don't have that degree of interaction and entertainment, because we are the university in the UK which has produced more student startups than any other university for 4 years running. So more of our students go out and create new businesses than any other university in the country.
I am the director of the Higher Education Policy Institute in England. Now this is a funny sort of body. It's a non-governmental organisation. It's not part of any university. It's not part of the government. It's what we call in England a charity, but in America it would be a not-for-profit. You know, it's that sort of body. And our mission is to try to improve the quality of policy making and decision taking in higher education, generally among governments. Most of my work has been at national level, but also with individual universities as well. Do all universities need to do research? And even within a university, what about people that don't do research or aren't funded to research? I mean, it raises all sorts of difficult questions. What is, I think our chairman said that research is a defining characteristic of a university, and yet the approach and the philosophy that I described implies logically that some universities will receive money for research, much more money than others, and maybe even some universities won't receive money for research. So what does that mean in terms of what sort of institution they are? Are they really a university? Does it do damage to the sector as a whole if there are some universities that don't do research? And then I ask, well, can all universities do research? Given limited money, and most of our countries have limited money. I'm very fortunate at present to be working in a country where money seems to be unlimited, which is marvellous. But generally, with limited money, if you're going to take the logic of focusing research, then the question is, can all universities do research? Is it actually something that limited funds will allow?